guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we are going to be talking about the Radical Firearms AR15. Before I do that, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your support a great deal because it helps me buy guns and gear related items so that I can review them on this channel. And because YouTube has been demonetizing gun content almost completely now, it's been a big help. I also want to mention ammo.com. They're another supporter of the channel. You can go down to the description and click the link and it'll give you 20 bucks off any order of 200 bucks or more. Now we're back to the AR15 here. This is a Radical Firearms FCR. It is a 16-inch SOCOM barrel with a mid-length gas system. And what makes it special among the AR15 market, which is heavily saturated now, I have to admit, many great brands. But the reason why I like this brand so far is because it is $600 and it comes with a lot of features. I was sent this by Radical Firearms to review, but as you guys know, I'm a pretty honest guy, and if this rifle had any problems, I would tell you regardless of whether they sent it to me or not. Now, getting back to the barrel, we're gonna go front to back on the rifle, then we'll go through all the categories that we normally go through for a review. So first off, it comes with an A2 style flash hider, which is pretty good. It's probably the overall best muzzle device still to this day. Competition guys like brakes and comps, I get that. Tactical guys like flash hiders or maybe a suppressor, I get that. But the A2 is kind of the best of both worlds. It allows some compensation on the top without having too much blast on the side. So if you're shooting at a training class or something like that, or maybe your lovely wife is videoing you, you won't be hitting her in the face with all the blast from the rifle, which is cool. Past the flash hider, we'll get to the M-Lok Rail. It is a pretty well done, high quality, reasonably priced M-Lok Rail. For being on a $600 rifle, it's pretty excellent. 12 inches long, you can get them in 15 as well if you like that. 12 is more than long enough for me to stabilize the rifle, and it is covering the mid-length gas system, which I really like. I like a mid-length gas system because it shoots a bit softer than the carbine length gas system, and the parts last a little bit longer as well because there's a little bit less wear on the internal parts of the rifle, a little bit less gas pressure getting to the inside. Then we'll go back to the upper and lower receivers, which are all aluminum, which is pretty cool. Unlike some of its competitors, the ATI here has polymer upper and lower receivers. This is going to have a lot more durability. It has billet parts to it. As you can see, it has an ambidextrous safety, which is pretty awesome, and it's got a little bit of texture to it. It's got texture on the bolt release as well, and on the magazine release, which is pretty awesome, and on the forward assist, if you ever use that. I mean, I don't mind having it on my rifle, but I don't think I've ever used a forward assist in my life. But nice to have it, I suppose. Comes with the Mission First Tactical grip and the Mission First Tactical stock, which I'm a little biased toward, honestly, because I love the Mission First Tactical stock personally, and I really like the grip as well. It has a very vertical angle to it, allowing you to get the rifle in close. The less stock you have, the more vertical you want your grip, in my personal experience. The longer stock you have, the more traditional angle on your grip you'd want. Most people really prefer the vertical grip being more vertical, and I would have to agree. The trigger is a mil-spec trigger. I'm getting bit up by mosquitoes here. The mil-spec trigger is pretty decent. You can see here. Pretty average. And it comes with one 30-round magazine. And overall, I would say that it is, so far, a pretty good buy for your money, considering all the accessories that you get, if of course it's reliable, durable, and accurate, which I suppose we'll get into right now. So the first category we get into when reviewing a rifle is going to be reliability. Well, reviewing any semi-automatic firearm for that matter, just because it's important if you're going to use this for defense, which I would suggest, honestly. If you buy an AR15, home defense is a great category for that, as long as you don't live in an apartment or something like that. And even still, you can use frangible ammunition, lots of other ways to go about it, but it is going to penetrate less depending on ammo than some other calibers like FMJ with a 9mm, for example, or even buckshot. So if you pick your ammo right, the 5.56 does a great job. It has great power, and it's very controllable for what it is. I mean, it is a rifle caliber, even though it shoots like a 22. It has great velocity. It creates a really good temporal cavity inside your intruder. So it does a lot of damage for very low recoil, very controllable, and with more points of contact, it's easier to shoot a rifle than it is going to be a pistol. So AR-15 is my recommended choice almost always for home defense if you have the ability to use it. So if you live in an apartment complex with 100 other people, maybe not the best idea, but if you live in a house, let's say, where you're gonna have a couple layers of drywall in between, or if you live out in the country like I do, it is an almost perfect option. But reliability of the Radical Firearms AR-15, the FCR, was awesome. I shot 1,000 rounds through it, had no problems whatsoever. I lubed it once when I started and once at 500 rounds. AR-15s like a little bit of lube, so it's not too bad to throw it on there, although I didn't clean it throughout the entire process. That is pretty good. Now, durability. Durability is something Radical Firearms has had a problem with in the past. And so far, from what I hear, Radical Firearms has done a lot of work on their quality control and has made a lot more of their parts in-house, because they did previously have some barrel issues and they did previously have some bolt carrier issues, specifically some bolt issues. And so far, from what I hear, both of those have been fixed. I've seen a lot of reviews recently where they've had no issues and I've had no issues as well. All I can honestly really tell you is my personal experience, what I have with this rifle, and I shot 1,000 rounds through it with no problem. I'll probably do an updated video at some point with 2,000 rounds, maybe 3,000 rounds, maybe. And they are now magnetic particle inspected, and they are proof tested and all that stuff. So if you are curious or concerned at all, you can contact them. But as far as I'm aware, it is a quality built rifle, at least from my experience. Now, getting into accuracy. This rifle was plenty accurate. I shot about 2 to 3 MOA based on the ammunition. I only went out and shot paper one time. I hate shooting paper. AR-15s are pretty tough to get inaccurate, honestly. They're probably the most inherently accurate rifle platform, at least in a semi-auto. So even budget AR-15s, like $500, $600 AR-15s, are still very accurate and more accurate than even high-quality AKs. Now we'll get into ergonomics and shootability. The rifle shot very well. The mid-length gas system did a great job at mitigating some of the recoil, and the furniture that it comes with is all the furniture you're ever really going to need. If you buy this particular rifle and you're wanting to deck it out, all you really need is a couple of magazines, a sling. I would definitely recommend a sling, and you're going to need a pair of sights or a red dot. As you can see here, this rifle has nothing on it. I didn't put iron sights on it. I actually shot it with a hollow sun, which is a great budget optic. The 503G, I believe. It's about $300 to $400, and it works every bit as good as an aim point. It said maybe not quite as durable, but if you're not jumping out of planes and stuff, not a big deal. Go with the hollow sun. If I bought this rifle, I'd throw a hollow sun on it and I would be perfectly set. You can also go with the primary arms red dot, Trijicon MRO, aim point T1, T2, whatever you want to, but throw a red dot, maybe some backup iron sights if you're into that kind of thing. Most people are not these days, believe it or not, because most optics at this point are plenty reliable. The only downside that I would ever see to this rifle is that maybe those quality controls aren't ironed out on all the rifles, but so far from my personal experience, they absolutely are. So I would recommend this for a budget AR-15, absolutely. Definitely over something like the ATI, which I will be doing a versus video on here shortly as well. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.